And when we come together, we make up that hope. We make up the solution that's going to render Baltimore safe. That's going to be a Baltimore for all people. So, Act Baltimore Now is all about the people. It's all about the people's plan. It's about us working with leadership and leadership working with the people. It's time to lose our crab mentality of pulling each other down and fighting against each other.
Yes.
It's time that we lock arms, open up our hearts, and work together. In Baltimore, no one should be left behind. And from the children to the elderly, everybody ought to be uplifted and given all the resources they need to succeed in this city and in this life. Baltimore can do this starting right now. Lending her voice, lending her talents, because there are many talents in these communities. And I'm going to say this as I shut up. There's a lot of good stuff going on in Baltimore.
Right. That's right.
A lot of good efforts that are already taking place in Baltimore. And as a Baltimore, we've got to receive each other. We've got to have a welcome table that doesn't shut anybody out. I'm going to just say this, I'm going to rattle off a few, but we don't have to listen. Listen, we can work with government, we can work with the private sector, we can work with these incredible institutions that we have all over the city. We've got educational institutions, we've got arts, we've got historical, we've got medical. We are wealthy in institutions. We are wealthy in our government system. But we've got some other stuff that we're also wealthy in. And they ought to be and they should be at the table. Things like, and this is just a few, safe streets, living classrooms, stand-up Baltimore, no boundaries, we are us, Nation of Islam, homeless advocates, the community, somebody cares, Baltimore Safe Haven, the Pride, the Center of Maryland, leaders of a beautiful struggle. And even still, they don't stop there. Because how many know the grassroots matter?
That's right.
The grassroots matter.
Say that.
Hearts don't shoot. Ceasefire, 100 black men, one community, Core Tiger, youth organizations like Culture Rise that's here today, Save Another Youth, Acts for Baltimore, Love You to Life campaign, Bridges, Youth Unlocked, Youth Commission, FCA, Baltimore Urban Debate League. We got babies that can talk better than some of us, and we're not supporting them. There's so much we need to pour into and bring to the table. I'm going to skip everything else I have to say because I feel myself going to blow up.
That's all right.
So I'm going to just say this to wrap it up. Baltimore can be the one city that rises up and away from all the other naysayers, from all the negative presses. I'm tired of seeing Baltimore.
That's right.
Doctor said, you just sent out something yesterday, how we're #1 again, most dangerous city, this, that, and the third.
Right.
I'm tired of seeing us on those lists.
Right.
I want to see Baltimore, and we can be the most healthiest city, the cleanest city. Whether you believe it or not, if we work together, we can be the safest city.
Yeah. That's right.
We can be a lot of things that a lot of people have given up hope.
Yeah.
But when we come together, there is nothing that we cannot be in the most positive way. So I say it to you, Baltimore can. Continue to believe that Baltimore can. Continue to believe. Even listen, loving our police. I'm one of them, you better love me. Loving one of our police.
That's right.
I've been talking to them, they've been calling, they've been crying about the condition that our city is in. Retired, I got one of my deputy commissioner mentors here out here today, Barksdale. To the ones that are active, there are a lot of police. There's a lot of people that make up Baltimore. Baltimore, act now. I ain't gonna say nothing else, I'm gonna turn it over to my brother, Shakur Abdul Shakur. Y'all give it up for him.
Good morning, my name is Abdul Shakur. I represent today Muslims for Humanity, as well as Positive Impact 410. I want to start by saying we all have a community obligation to the safety, security, and prosperity of every citizen in this beautiful city of Baltimore City. However, we should start with ourselves, taking responsibility and accountability for our actions. But we also need to hold our elected officials accountable.
That's right.
As well as law enforcement across all agencies. And it's important here in Baltimore because we all have that responsibility to the safety, security, and the prosperity of every citizen in Baltimore City and not just isolated targets. We all have the obligation to enjoy what is right and forbid what is wrong. We need to start looking within our own selves and then start sitting down at the table and open up those dialogues, start connecting, communicating, and changing. If we connect with the right people open up that dialogue, communicate, brainstorm, you have positive change in the city.
Hello, my name is Adana. I'm representing Culture Rise, Bell Movement, and the Youth Advocacy of Baltimore City. Our young people, as you know, are suffering in this city on levels that you can't even imagine. From the school systems to the juvenile detention centers, juvenile services, they are lacking so much in this city. We want to stand with all of the people who are standing out here right now to represent Baltimore Youth, Act Now Baltimore, Culture Rise. We are all going to partner to move forward and have a real plan for our young people to keep them safe, to get them educated, to have them more empowered than they are being right now, because we will not, none of us standing here will give up on our young people of Baltimore City, because they are the future of Baltimore City. We're hoping that the leadership of the city will see that, stand with us and support us in everything that we plan to do moving forward. Thank you.
Good day, all. I stand, Minister Christina Flowers, under the servitude of my great pastor father in Christ, James Medici. What you see here now today, when we talk about accountability, we as leaders have to be accountable too. And we plan to be accountable for the resources and the actions in this city. And we represent so many different good things in Baltimore City. So it's good to know that accountability will start with us as leaders, and we just thank God for the opportunity, even for our clergy standing here, because a lot of times people ask, where is the church? Well, we are represented and we are joined with our clergy, seeking the opportunity to bring everyone to the table for a plan of the people. And it's time that we can really learn and grow from one another as community leaders, as homeless advocates, as businesses, entrepreneurs, how we come together in Christ and how we can maintain accountability and love. That's the biggest word here today.
That's right.
Love language to our city officials, our community leaders, and to those in the community that work and is not able to stand here. We even stand and represent them too. So we look forward to partnering, working together as Act Now Baltimore has laid the roadmap for us to move forward and do so. I will turn it over to our brother Nunez.
My name is Bishop Angel Nunez, M-U-N-E-Z. I'm the Vice Chair of Act Now Baltimore and the President of the Multicultural Prayer Movement. Let me begin by briefly stating that this past Monday night, I was in a funeral home in a viewing where a 16-year-old young, I would say, boy had committed suicide and taken his life. We were told that he reached that stage because he was hopeless. He felt there was nothing more for him, nothing to live for, and so he took his life. I refuse to believe that we are going to allow our young people to give up on ourselves and in our city while there is a body of men and women that are willing to roll up their sleeves and fight for the young people and fight for our community. So in review, our purpose is to listen to the people.
Amen.
Again, listen to the people. Work in partnership with our political leadership, police, and community organizations. Standing with us today are Hispanic, Korean, white, black leadership. We have activists, gang leaders, former police officers. We have youth, community leadership, as well as faith-based and business representation. We are fighting for the hurting, broken, and abused, whose voices have yet to be heard as they should be heard. Therefore, we stand in the gap and we raise our voice and declare our people will not die any longer. We will do something. We want to invite you to our town hall meeting, which we're going to have on July 26th. July 26th at the Bilingual Christian Church located at 6000 Erdman Avenue. It will start at 7 p.m. I will tell you that seating is limited, so you need to come early. The hour has come. The hour has come. Can I say that one more time? The hour has come where we will come together as we put aside our differences and seek to transform our city for betterment. Thank you, and we will now open up for questions.
Any questions that you may have?
Was there a breaking point? Is there something in particular that happened, or is it this is just like a culmination of tragic events? What was it for you?
When you look at the fact that the police department put out a plan, then you had the federal government calling our mayor and saying that they had a plan. And then we saw an increase in murders and shootings in Baltimore City. We realized then that it's incumbent upon the people of Baltimore City to offer a people's plan. So it's been that culmination that for too long this carnage that's going on in our city now requires the people throughout our city to stand up, to have a seat at the table, to present your ideas, to ensure that the people of Baltimore City are protected, but also that the people of Baltimore City are heard.
Piggybacking on that, I wonder, you said a breaking point. Listen, we're going into 7 years with 300 plus murders. Don't tell me things are getting better. Yes, we're at a breaking point, and our voices need to be heard. Okay, I'm glad the federal government got a plan, but you know what? We have a plan also, and you got to hear the people at the grassroots levels, the ones that are struggling, the ones that have no jobs. We got to hear from those people so that we can effectively then answer, respond, and address the needs of the entire community.
Bishop, going off of that, how do you respond to people who say that Baltimore City saw a 4% decrease in the homicides in 2020 compared to 2019? Is that acceptable?
To me, it's not acceptable. Listen, to tell me that we had 13 less murders this year than last year, what's the joke? And it's during COVID where most people were locked up. Listen, I don't understand that rationale. The bottom line is people are dying, people are taking their lives, and we need to do something about it. So for me, 13 less this year or 13 more, that's not a story. That's not acceptable. We're coming against this. We've got to stop this, and we got to stop it now. That's why we say act now, Baltimore.
Why is it that people who have experience in the grassroots never get the job, and always some unexperienced person get the job? Why is it that all of y'all out here have experience? Why isn't that you all, not saying you all, but figure speak, that don't be appointed for the opportunity to bring Baltimore safe?
I would say to you this, that this is the moment of change. This is the moment that the people of Baltimore, the organizations that are working in the communities, they're going to have a place at the table. And Act Now Baltimore is going to make certain that they have a place at the table. They're going to make certain that each one of them are heard, but more importantly, that they are respected. They have to respect the voice of the people of Baltimore City.
Thank you.
Can you talk about why it's important to present these plans to those three people that you mentioned in particular? And are you confident that the mayor will even listen?
The beauty about our mayor is that he has ears. The scripture tells us, if you have ears, let you hear. And so we're gonna present it first to our police commissioner. We're gonna present it next to our mayor, and then we're gonna present it to the federal. Thank you.
Why the consent decree, Judge?
Yeah, the consent decree is important because that's what's rewriting the plans and the policies of Baltimore City. And you have to have people input. It's required, it's mandated. It's not been at the level that it needs to be, but we want to make certain that the structure is changed to the benefit of people. I would just say to you now, because we close down, that they are, if I may, I'm going to have them come up, give one quick sentence, say who they are and who they represent. Come on, brother, tell them right now.
Corner Rock Medical Sanctuary of Ministry. Also the CEO of my father's house, Baltimore. And I'm also part of the Jewett mental health program. I do addiction. You have any addicts on the street, I take them off, put them in the hospital, and get them clean. It's 15 cents once I'm home.
I don't like to be ignorant, right? But I have a list of people that's actually doing the things that need to get done. So I don't care to talk about what happened back in 1920 or 1930. I want to stay in 2021. Charles Covington over there. He has a house. He runs a recovery house. He has 10 rooms over there. He reached out to me. So anybody out here that I see that needs that help, I send them to Charles. We are one family. It's a health center, right? And then we are one family. I use them to help our people. He was talking about the mental issues that need to help us in the way. I was talking about the mental issues.
I'm Daniel Ra. I'm an elder at the church in Clarksville. I'm also a member of the business in Mount Baltimore. I'm here because we're about loving one another. We're about bridging the gap between all different types of people. We're about serving one another. We're going to serve one another in Baltimore on Saturday by washing the feet of people that we don't know, that don't look like us. We're not going to discriminate on love. We're going to give love freely. We're going to pay it forward, create the environment that we want to live in, which is to love one another despite where we live. So that's happening on Saturday. We're souls of dignity, souls of dignity, not souls of dignity.
Typically known as Shadows. I'm a community advocate for the King North Recovery, the King North community. I've spent 20 years at the King North Recovery community. Currently, I'm in the process of developing a jobs program for returning citizens, at-risk youth, and gang members, almost specifically, all designed and built by gang members specifically, so we can stop saying that gang members are responsible for every single murder in Baltimore City when we know it's not true. I had to say that. And remember that we are all here to help. I'm in opposition with nobody. I almost every single person here personally, and I can speak for the effectiveness of community over bureaucracy. I have a great day.
Good morning, Baltimore City. Once again, we are here. And so I would like to say thank you to, first of all, to Pastor Hathaway, Act Now Baltimore, Christina Flowers, and myself, you know me as Salika Bazemore, or AKA Z-Bay. So we have a new company called HOME. That's right, HOME. Homeless Outreach Management and Empowerment. Okay? Powerful name. Okay? Let's not say that Baltimore does not have everything that we need to come together as Baltimore and do what we need to do in order to bring our city up and uplift our city, because we can. So my question to Brandon Scott, Brandon Scott, we look forward to meeting with you on the 22nd, because you need all of us. Thank you so much.
So we want to thank you. You see that this is a wide and deep breadth of the grassroots of Baltimore City.
they all come under this idea of accountability, credibility, transparency, but more importantly, we are here to act now, Baltimore. Act now, Baltimore. Act now, Baltimore.
Act now, Baltimore. Act now, Baltimore.
Thank you. Amen. Thank you.
Once again, live here at the City Hall. City Hall. Hold up. Hey, partner.
How's everything with you?
All right, that's the boxing, man.
just by hobby.
Oh, by hobby.
Yeah.
That's all right.
I work in a funeral home. I'm in funeral home.
Yeah, that's all right. Well, there you go. Act now, Baltimore is here.
It's a good turnout.
Good turnout.
And it really wasn't as hot as what I thought it was going to catch up, man. Yes, sir.
Hey, man. Hey, you know what?
What's happening?
I'm glad you put that out there. Now tell us again about what you do.
Well, all right, so I'm a gang advocate. It's a little more complicated than I would be able to explain on camera.
Right.
Well, let's just say there's a couple of dudes who live in a certain type of lifestyle that I gained trust with over the years and I have equity with. Me and these particular gentlemen, who I won't mention, have sat down, engineered truces on the west side, squashed all kind of beefs, all kind of stuff. And one of the days when we were celebrating the 5-year anniversary of that particular happening, we were sitting here watching the TV while, no offense to Brandon because he's my homeboy, but Brandon and the commissioner was saying that gang members were basically responsible for every single murder in the city, when that's not true.
Right.
I can't say that it's completely untrue because that would be moronic. But to have like 300-something murders, bro, it ain't even that many gang members in the city to be committing murders like that. So,
But how can people come and turn their life around and come talk to you?
All day long, because the truth of it is, it's not really about turning your life around. When you're in that particular state of living, you've gone past trying to, I'm going to be rich and I'm going to be successful. You're just trying to survive from one point to the next. So if you can show somebody, honestly, the cure for that is simply, if I can show you somebody how to make a living without compromising themselves and not putting themselves in danger, which is actually very simple in a city like this one. You know what I mean? It's easily done. So when people, I say that to say sometimes it bothers me when I hear turn the life around, because that depends on who you are.
Okay.
But in some cases,
So explain it to us, 'cause like I didn't know.
in some cases, most of us just need the path widened, because the path we have is so narrow.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, we on a one-way street, typically, until we get another lane going in another direction or a turn off or something. That's what it is. You ain't even. There's no space to turn around, because everything about the way you're educated, the way you're taught, the way you're talked to, the way you're treated, points you towards a certain type of lifestyle. And it don't even matter how smart you are or anything, it just points you in that direction. And until someone is given or at least shown a different path, they don't know what path to take. That's how it happened for me. That's how it happened for most of my contemporaries. So it's a responsibility actually of mine and pretty much everybody like me to reach back and try to help some of these brothers, because, if I'm looking at it in a proper context, right now I'm 46. I reach out to a 26-year-old who's gonna be 46 when my son is 26, which is, that's what a society is. So, that's why I do it. That's why me and my homeboys do it. That's why that's why we roll the way we roll, and we choose to act now.
Now, what I would love to do, I would love to go into the troublous neighborhoods in the city and get a bus and take the people to Hershey Park. And mentor to them. How can we do that?
I have a homeboy. We can go past Hershey Park. I have a homeboy who's trying to buy 216 acres of farmland that his family was held as slaves on. He wants to buy the farmland and turn it into a different type of university. We want to teach financial education, agriculture, teach people how to grow their own food, how to build and install solar panels, what that work. I mean, and show people like a bunch of stuff that we wouldn't have been taught in schools, and you create an ecosystem that then in turn feeds itself, affects Baltimore City and the surrounding areas. You create an untapped job market. You create an entire labor pool, basically from the disenfranchised. There's a bunch of ways to do that. And then the trick then, my friend, is then all we got to do is get the bus because they can pay their own way to Hershey Park.
So tell us about how can we support it? Who can we get in touch with?
Right now, Daniel Burns, it's Equity for Baltimore. Daniel Burns is the president and CEO, president of the company. McKenna Burns is the CEO. My name is Jannard Barr. Again, shout out, I'm the community outreach worker for them in particular. You can reach me at 443-400-6899.
They get their pen. They get me write it down.
We was live. My bad.
Oh, we live. I forgot to tell you.
I heard you when you said it. It just kind of slipped my mind.
What's the number?
443-400-6899. Also on Instagram and Facebook, Shadow Man Boogie. You can just Google that. A bunch of stuff comes up. You can reach out to me.
We can reach out. Thank you.
I gotta head back on the west side now because I gotta tell these dudes how this went. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, brother. And I'm Larry Wallace, Uncut News.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Wallace.
you.
Have
Appreciate
a pleasant day.
All right, thank
I'll
you.
be blessed.
All right, Lisa. Thank you. All right. For those who don't know what just happened, can you give everybody an update?
So what just happened?